Koaloyimla Yahweh Bashim Yashar Bashim Kakadash Tapanos Apostle Asgari Millstone Peace Citation Hopeful Lek Shalom. And my title of this lesson, crash into the US dollar is fastly approaching. And I'll bring out a few articles, make this lesson edifying, try to keep it straight to the point and basic. Just getting the most important parts out of it. So it says right here in Watch.Guru that this is posted on August 16, 2024. It says 159 countries set to adopt BRICS new payment system. It says amid the alliance's continued efforts to create a swift alternative, the Economic Alliance has sought to create its very own BRICS payment system. It will play a major role in alliance trade dealings, specifically allowing unilateral settlement to be done without the need for the US dollar. The move is poised to be vital for the bloc and participating nations, and it appears there will be a lot of them. According to one Russian official, there are already 159 countries seeking to adopt the system currently. With a potential launch coming in October, it could have massive global market ramifications. And it says, there's a sub-article, subtitle, countries flock to BRICS payment system as swift opposition emerges. It says, the past several years have seen the BRICS alliance committed to enhance the dollarization effort. With the impact of Western sanctions on Russia, the move is clear promotion of local currency and alternative settlement methods. Although many have been skeptical, there is no denying its popularity to this point. According to Russia's central bank governor, Elvira Nabiullina, 159 countries are ready to adopt the BRICS payment system when it goes live. Indeed, these foreign participants are looking to explore an expansion to Russia's system for transmitting financial messages, SPFS platform. Nabiullina said the system is an alternative to SWIFT. Moreover, she added, similar infrastructure exists in some other countries. We are holding discussions on the interaction of such platforms. But here, the interest and the technical readiness of our partners are important. The payment system has become increasingly important for the alliance. The mechanism is a priority of the upcoming BRICS 2024 summit, according to the head of Russia's BRICS Presidency Council, Victoria Panova. Active efforts are underway to create a financial payment mechanism that would make cooperation between BRICS countries easier, maintaining their sovereign trade and economic exchanges, she said. And quote, this issue tops the agenda because every member of the group sees it as important, she added. The system's debut should come with immediate activity, although it could open the door to the expanded trade dealings for the alliance. For a plethora of nations seeking membership, they could opt to embrace the system when it launches. At this point, there's a chance it is ready for October's critical summit. And when you look at it, in 2024, they say that the amount of countries that's in the world is 195 countries. So when you look at 159 countries that's ready to set the wave for the BRICS new payment system, and that shows you right there that the dollar is not going to have any more influence. So your dollar bills, y'all, is going to be useless in the time to come. And it could very well happen this year. They say they're trying to get shit started in October, but of course everything happens gradually. Certain things can't happen like over time, like overnight or so. A lot of things have to be strategically planned, and ultimately the Heavenly Father is the one that's setting this up, because it's already been prophesied in the scriptures that shit like this was going to happen. And this is another article. It says more than 50 countries could accept BRICS payment system. And this is on August 21, 2024. It says the BRICS alliance is planning to create an independent payment system to settle cross-border transactions among member nations. The new payment system will not integrate the US dollar into the mechanism and could settle trade in local currencies. The US dollar could be set on the path of decline and strengthen the native currencies of developing countries. Be here to know how many sectors in the US will be affected if BRICS ditch the dollar for trade. It says the chances of hyperinflation in the homeland remain high if the US fails to import the dollar across the world. Developing countries are aiming to cut ties with the US dollar in the hopes of toppling it as the world's reserve currency. The BRICS payment system could be the vehicle that could meet the financial aspirations of developing nations. It says BRICS payment system, more than 50 countries to join the bandwagon. Around 47 countries have currently expressed their interest in joining the BRICS alliance before the 2024 summit. All of them are developing countries hailing from Asia, Africa, South America, and Eastern Europe. The newfound ambition is to strengthen their local currencies and not be dependent on the US dollar for trade. Therefore, the upcoming BRICS payment system could meet their requirements and be beneficial to local currencies for trade. Valentina Matviyenko, the speaker of the Russia's Federation Council, expressed that the BRICS payment system could convince other developing countries to start using it for trade payments to end reliance on the US dollar. She said that the new payment mechanism is no longer an idea but will turn reality soon. This is no longer just an idea, it is moving forward in practice, she said. I hope that this system that has been created by BRICS will become a trend, an example that only BRICS nations but many other countries as well will join later. She summed it up. Without further ado, I'll bring out some scriptures and make this lesson edifying. And let me bring out, the usual when it's coming to dealing with this. Ezekiel 38 verse 3, it says, verse 1, I'll start off. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, and with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Torkamah, of the side of the north's quarters, and all his band, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right? So, and that's talking about how these other nations now, they're going to build up their financial, guard against the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Because it's time for these nations to, let's just say these developing countries in particular, to, or just any country in general, just ditch the dollar. Because it's like, it's coming to the point where these other nations, they've been suffering for very long, because of U.S. sanctions. They suffering because of the U.S. putting embargoes on certain things that other countries, like they can't get certain resources or so. So basically, like what the U.S. is doing, they're being a bully, and it's like they're fucking around with other countries' affairs on their trades and things of that nature. And these other nations are tired of it, especially Russia and North Korea, because you have a lot of countries now that have, let's say, their nuclear weaponry, and now it's to the point where they're almost going to, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they just surpass the U.S. and, let's say, like China and North Korea and Russia, like if they surpass the U.S. in terms of how advanced their nuclear weaponry are, the type of advanced warfare that these other countries have with their AI and their nuclear weaponry. And this is all doing from the Heavenly Father, because he's setting it in these other nations' spirits to, like, the leaders to, like, get ready and pretty much go as far as building an alliance to defend against the U.S., and against that country, Israel, because Israel and the U.S. are allies. And you see, the funny thing is, this is all prophecy when the scriptures talk about how the beast shall hate the whore, you know, you have the EU against the USA, you know, and the beast is NATO and the EU, of course, and then the whore is definitely America. And you see, one thing about Esau, he's a house divided against himself. So you have these Edomites in the EU that can't stand the Edomites in America, and I don't blame them. And honestly speaking, I feel like if anything, Edomites in the EU may be a little bit more better in terms of, well, being more cognizant, and I'll just say, like, you know, Edomites in the EU on average are smarter than the Edomites in America. Let's just put it that way. And if when you consider the EU, like in particular Russia, you know, those Edomites there, you know, they definitely are way tougher than the Edomites in America. Because I'll say, like, the toughest Edomites in America have to be the ones down south at least. You know what I'm saying? Like in the southern states, like in Texas, or, you know, in the redneck, you know, areas. Because you have a lot of Edomites that are very soft, and, you know, they've been too weak and effeminate because of this gynocratic, you know, society that Esau, you know, pushes for in America. And let me bring out this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. It says, yeah, also because he transgressed about wine, he is a proud man, need to keep it at home, who enlarge the desires hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and keep it unto him all people. Yeah, because it's like, you see, Esau has it to where, you know, I'm talking about mainly these banking families, that because they're the ones that rule the world low-key, you know, with their banking systems, because there's only like a very few countries that don't have the central banks, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it might be either 2 or 3. So yeah, they control almost the whole, you know, world's wealth. And of course, they mainly use America as that, you know, country, which is technically not a real country, it's a corporation, but they use it to enforce their, you know, policies, and, you know, on trade, to enforce, you know, certain shit on these other nations' leaders, you know. And it's coming to the point where these other nations, of course, like, they're not gonna allow themselves to be bullied around and told what to do anymore, especially with the fact that how they're starting to become more advanced in their technology. And now they see that there's a chance that they could potentially overthrow America and rule, and that's what they think. And of course, you know, in the time of World War III, you already know Yasharahla is going to come back once those missiles, you know, spark off. That's when Yasharahla is going to come in the midst and deliver, well, make war with the other nations in a valiant decision, which is in the land of Jehoshaphat. In other words, Yasharahla. You know, he's going to deliver his elect, you know, whoever's left on this earth, you know, mostly will be destroyed, like these low-level heathens and these Edomites. And then you have, of course, according to prophecy, some that remainers that survive, which are mostly the upper class, you know, of the other nations, and of course these upper class Edomites, that they will be the first fruits of slaves, as is prophesied in the scriptures. But let me bring out verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Exactly. Because, you know, that thick clay goes into debt. You know what I'm saying? It's like Esau has everybody moving in a tar pit. You know what I'm saying? It's like he has everybody in this country just, you know, adding more debt and debt. And it's like the more you try to move, it's like, you know, you hardly ain't, you know, you ain't progressing anywhere, because it's just almost like you're in the same situation. Just like when you get into tar and you get all, it's all sticky and it's like, it feels like you're trying to walk through clay. Yeah, that's how it is. You know, Esau got everyone in a sticky situation. And in verse 7, it's the favorite part right here. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of the men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and all that dwell therein. Right, and scriptures also mention that the only way to cleanse the land where blood has been shed on it is by the one who shed the blood. You know what I mean? And scriptures also say the Lord required that which is past. This land, America, has been found off of bloodshed, you know what I'm saying? Of the Native Americans, which are the Gadites and Reubenites, you know? And this land is also, you know, you basically put all 12 tribes of Israel in captivity in this land too, you know? And you've also shed their blood, made them work for free labor during hardcore captivity. Try to find every possible way to limit Jake and their opportunities, and you still kind of do that to this day. So I mean, what you think is going to happen? And then you have it to where these other nations, they're seeing how you're destroying not only their economy, but you're also destroying the minds of their people by trying to follow after your ways. And that's why when you have it to where let's say when people from other countries come over here in America to get their citizenship, and it's like, you know, maybe a few years from now or a couple of years, they might even go as far as like changing, you know, their customs just to assimilate into the American lifestyle. And they usually end up bringing shame back to their families and their home countries. And these other nations are tired of seeing that, because then it's like, you know, it's going to become a trend, and then you're going to have it to where people want to protest on having women's rights, and you know, in their countries, like in the Middle East or in certain Asian countries, you know, and so forth. And pretty much the list goes on. You know, why these other nations are fucking tired of you damn Edomites, you know, ruling. And you American Edomites in particular. And verse 9 says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, and he may be delivered from the power of evil. Yeah, because Esau thinks to himself that, oh, since he set his nest among the stars of heaven, you know, of the Most High, you know, he believes that, he thinks to himself that he's at a high habitation, you know. He thinks to himself that he is the Most High with his technology. And you see, the thing is that what Esau doesn't understand is that Jacob's trouble is going to be a time period where the Most High is going to show you who's actually controlling him, you know. So, but all this is just meant to build the pride of Esau. The scripture said that when he filled his belly, that the Most High will cast the fierceness of his wrath upon him, you know. And scriptures also mention that how he's gonna vomit back every, you know, all the riches that he has. You know what I'm saying? Scriptures also mention that how these rich men have heaped up treasures, you know, in the last days. So whatever you Edomites have, or whatever you upper class heathens have as well, it's gonna all translate over, you know. Just like how when ancient kingdoms, let's say you have certain rulers of a certain particular nation, they have their kingdom, they set their dominion, and then eventually at some point in time, you know, they get besieged, and then they have new rulers set amongst them. Basically all those same riches, it translates over, you know what I mean? And this time, for this go around, for the nation of Israel, we're always going to be in eternal dominion, you know, eternal rulership under Yasharahla, of course. And this is also a good, you know, precept that goes along with the crashing of the U.S. dollar. In other words, of the dollarization agenda. So, let me see. Let me start at. Actually, I'll start at verse 1. Just skip down to some of the more supporting parts. Just to not make the lesson too long. But Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 1, it says, "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto the land of Israel, the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord." Right, so basically, Most High is going to show the whole world, like how he did it in ancient times, who he really is. He's going to show you that that he's really in control of things. So there are going to be things that even Esau, just like ancient Pharaoh, he wasn't able to, stand during the plagues. And the Most High is going to do it, times 1,000 on this side. Because Esau, you are likened to to be the modern day Pharaoh now. You're just a Pharaoh without melanin, basically. And let me skip down to let's see, verse 19. It says, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity." So yeah, the thing about this world is that, the stumbling block of their iniquity is definitely, the money. Because the money is what they say makes the world go around, And this is when, a perfect time period for how, when that hyperinflation hits and eventually, deflation, that's gonna, it's gonna also come to a point in time where when the dollar really crashes and people ain't gonna use no more money, it's gonna go back to the barter trade. Or so, you're gonna have women whoring themselves out for food. That's when all these stupid ass OnlyFans fucking hoes and these Instagram dot models and these fucking Facebook dot models as well, Snapchat premium hoes, whatever these fucking hoes use as a platform to get more simps sending them donations in Cash App or Venmo or PayPal, lending them all this money and things of that nature just for fucking pics or videos. And basically the list goes on with however these women, whatever promiscuous shit that they do to make their money. They're gonna realize in that time that whole outstanding requirements that they have, all that shit is gonna be out the fucking window, basically. And they're gonna be whoring themselves out for just a can of beans, and shit, maybe even less than that. Another reason why the money is a stumbling block of their iniquity. The scriptures say that the money is the root of all evil, and man has pierced himself with many sorrows because of it. Yeah. So you got people that sign all these contracts in the record label industry, trying to get that quick, money. And some of them don't realize what they're really getting themselves in, because they hear, oh, it's quick money, quick promotions, something that make them look good and famous for real, for a short amount of time, so quickly. But what they fail to realize is that money is a loan to you, and you have to pay that back. And they end up spending it on, a lot of shit to make them look like they're wealthy. And then it's like they end up owing these record labels, the money that they were borrowing. And then that's why you see them being like an industry plant. And it's like now they're just a broke, privileged slave for the industry. And they know they're not free, even though it may seem like they're on a better level than average people. They really are enslaved. And the sad thing about a lot of these stupid people is that, they'll be so quick and ready to bow down to these celebrities and, be ready to jump at them in the concert, trying to, touch them or so, trying to get their attention. And during that time period, the Most High is gonna also not only crash the dollar, but all these celebrities and, which are basically lesser luminaries, all their fame is gonna crash too. And the Lord is gonna basically put their light out. Some of them are already getting their lights put out. You have some of them that's getting exposed, like P. Diddy. And basically, you have it to where these celebrities, they may seem like they're wealthy with the high net worth, and then it's like, even then, they could get their accounts frozen, their bank accounts frozen and things of that nature. And even if they were to speak about the truth, especially about the truth of being an Israelite, you best believe that they will get canceled on a lot of, TV shows, or they wouldn't get that much opportunities for speaking against the small hats. So that's how like the money is pretty much one of the roots of all evil, and ultimately it's a stumbling block of these people's iniquity, because they wouldn't dare give up whatever they have to serve the Heavenly Father. And then that's the thing. That's why the Most High is gonna, it's gonna come to a point in time where when He brings about Jacob trouble, you people are gonna be forced to give up everything you have, and all that is gonna go to those that serve the Lord. So when you serve the Most High, it may take very long, but you're gonna get everything that these wicked ass people in the world labored for. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna get way more after that. So the faster this dollar collapse, that's another thing too. They're gonna push that MOTB, which that goes into Revelation 13:16, because that's gonna be the world currency, after the dollarization. So it's one step leading to the next. You know what I mean? And then before you know it, once that MOTB is implemented, like Apostle Zahar said, it could be a couple months and we out of here. Because that means that Esau is trying to, go as far as doing his mass implementing of the chip. Because he has a feeling that the Lord is going to come back, soon. And basically, he's trying to upset the prophecies. And the funny thing is, the more you try to fight against the prophecies, the more the prophecy is going to happen and take place. So, you have no control over what the Most High is doing. You know what I mean? And if anything, the Most High is controlling you, whether you believe it or not, Esau. So, without further ado, I'll just end the lesson right there. I'd say, call on Yasharahla, Yahweh Shema Shah, Bashim Kakadash, the Apostle Azgar Noston, peace, I teach it all for that. Shalom.